some of you may know, Insurgency has just recently released for the console. Now, some of this has been going fantastic, kind of great, and full of smiles, laughter, and joy. Some of it, on the other hand, has been quite utterly dogshit and terrible. But, of course, let me explain. As of lately, the game has been going through almost irrecoverable and irreversible crashes that are crippling.
It does this weird thing. It's like an error code that pops up and then it'll crash me.
Oh my god, my game just crashed. Fucking hell, perfect timing.
This being said, the game does have some seriously great and entertaining moments, as of...
Nobody fucking saw that guy? God damn.
Cause I just got in.
No, not you, damn it. It's just like I watched this one RPG who was standing out in the middle of the street in front of like 5 guys, take them all out, and now it's just like, bro. Like 3 of our dudes died because of this one guy who was like standing in the world's most obvious fucking spot. And they all happened in front. Listen, I'm venting because I've seen things, okay?
Being said, these errors that I've been mentioning are errors that ought to be corrected and noticed, for the sole purpose of these types of errors are actually extremely common amongst the gaming industry nowadays. The points I'm going to touch upon in this video are going to range everywhere from, of course, Insurgency, the game of topic as of now, and of course, just many games that have been released as of lately that there's lately no real excuse for this type of persistent errors and problems. I'm gonna now just transverse over to just to prove the point that it's not just me and my other friend here. This is actually expanding to quite a bit of people. This crashing error that's going on across the board.
Yep.
Constantly crashes. Uneven teams means move players mid-match. The fuck. Worst FPS game ever. If you like sitting in a corner ADS for 10 minutes plus, this game's for you, because that's what everyone does. Camping, ADS, hold and angle, simulator 2020.
Well, those guys can stay mad because this game's
that's a
about
critic
that.
thing.
Yeah,
that's critics.
He's just bitching. Game crashes and server discounts 4 out of 5 games.
People are missing skins too, and they spent fucking $100.
Good game,
including Stray.
Good gameplay, but a scam.
How's it a scam?
The game.
It is a scam, dude. You got scammed.
The game is amazing fun and all, but my pre-order items won't appear. Waste of cash. Damn, dude.
Exactly.
Crashes way too much.
They'll fix it.
You do realize only I mean, some of the other people get lucky, but only like 4 of the skins are actually working, and it's the Peacemaker, the Warlord, the Grim Reaper one, I don't know the other one. And I know the only weapon skin that's working is the fucking Golden AK. All the other ones are glitched, they won't fucking work. Like, the game is broke.
Yeah, it's kinda broke.
But I'm seeing good reviews. I'm also seeing bad reviews.
Well, no, like there is mad
reviews.
good reviews here. There is a lot of good reviews, and the game is good enough that it's like it deserves that praise of like, yeah, it's a really fun fucking game. It's just, dude, the crashes rape the game. It's not fun when it happens. It ruins my whole experience. I get in mid-match with you guys, having a great time, and all of a sudden the game just goes, fuck you, dude. Remember that? I was like, grab you and twist, huh? Huh? You like it? You like it, buddy? Huh?
And now, before we start acting like this is all innovative shit and like the first time this has happened, we need and ought to realize this has been going on for an extreme amount of time amongst the gaming industry, and it really ought to start to be noticed.
Yeah, I was watching the Hunt Showdown with that when I was watching Rogers, and Rogers and Strelok was playing Hunt Showdown, and Rogers was having this weird like fucking frame rate issue.
Yeah, that was his rant video.
But I'm actually gonna have to come out with another one for Insurgency, because Insurgency, despite the fact I love this fucking game, like, it's having problems with crashes and fucking crippling crashes, dude. Like, no joke.
Well, yeah, he is.
Well,
just
no,
like
it was something to do with like
𝕮𝖊𝖘𝖎𝖌𝖓
looking in a certain direction or something.
𝕮𝖊𝖘𝖎𝖌𝖓 gets to the point where it's not.
2. They're down. Bottleneck. I saw movement.
Fucking crashed.
Christ, no. Why does this game crash?
Did you just crash?
Crashed. I crashed.
Okay.
What?
God damn it.
Dude, how is this considered finished?
Because they don't play test shit.
God.
That's the problem with the industry. They're like, oh yeah, it works on PC. It must work on console, right?
It's not even
Shit.
good.
Yeah, right about there actually lies the seed of the problem, and I'm beginning to notice amongst most games that are being released nowadays. Nowadays, games are being released in a way that it's like, okay, well, you ought to have, the best graphics card, the best this, the best that. And it's slowly kind of seeming to be more of a money grind, if anything. Now, this wouldn't be all too bad and all too toxic if it wasn't for the fact that literally every other goddamn game in the modern world that is being released for both console and PC are suffering at the hands of this
You
type
know,
of
because I
matter.
really
Oh,
No,
think
I
it's
was
shit.
mad too fake. You know? Not fun.
Yeah, I was watching Hunt Showdown, and I remember in the video, Rogers was talking about how, or I think it was 𝕮𝖃, he was talking about how the developers don't pay any attention to the console versions for games and give all the love to the PC players.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
It's not inaccurate.
No, yeah,
No, I'm not saying it is inaccurate, mate. I agree. I mean, I play 𝕮𝖃 and the fucking PC have modders and obviously all that kind of stuff, and we have dinosaurs we want to come over to console, and every time we put a submission in for that dinosaur, it never fucking comes.
See, and I bet my main issue with Ark and my main complaint for Ark is that it's like I got tired of every update being, oh, new dinosaurs, new dinosaurs. It's like, how about you fix the graphics and fix the frame rate? Oh, and
The
make the
graphics is
hair
actually
look like
fixed.
hair.
But, well,
know,
the
man.
head that still doesn't look like
It's
hair.
been about a year since I checked it, but the last time I checked it, it had been a couple years since I got it, and there was nothing. Oh my god, dude, Fishka!
I'm trying to fucking locate it. Like, this thing's just unloading, and I can't hear a fucking thing.
Oh, I know. I'm staying low behind the perimeter wall, holding the east.
Jesus H. Christ, they're shooting RPGs at us now.
A little tangent they had going on there may have just seemed to be about Ark, but as of now, it's not just Ark. Cyberpunk 2077 released basically almost botched except for the story and the fun gameplay. Chivalry 2 had numerous server issues and also cosmetic issues that rendered some of it kind of hostile. Same thing with Red Dead Redemption Online, on par also with the broken economy that basically crippled it. And lastly, one of my favorites, Hunt Showdown, basically smokes crack every single update, and it's starting to show. And now, also on top of this, the list just simply goes on, and to an extreme where when does it stop? When do we start to call that maybe this is starting to force out games a little too fast? And all of these seem to suffer a very wide variety of mixture of problems, ranging from server problems, cosmetic problems, to what Insurgency right now is following up with severe crashing problems to the point where the game is almost hostile towards the player. I would typically be okay and very charitable with my time with this sort of thing, but I think game developers have a hard time realizing and conceiving the fact that sometimes gamers will just stick to a game for a long period of time. This is actually what makes game developers and publishers real money. But we, in this world that we're in, for some reason, we kind of lost the way in the video game industry. Back when we were making games like, say, Splinter Cell, when they were making games with sticks and stones and rocks, uh, games had to be completely finished. Otherwise, if you released it and there was a game breaking glitch, your game would basically be, the laughing stock. And it was kind of the same thing all the way, I would say, until there was a period between Ride to Hell and Fortnite, where game publishers and game developers kind of just they grasped the concept that you can milk games for quite a bit of money. And Call of Duty followed suit, and then soon after, basically every other game followed. Now, this wouldn't be a problem if I could actually run the goddamn game in the first place. If I could actually put time into the game for it to be entertaining. You know, um, so in my little list that I showed off, Origami 2 actually made the list. I actually haven't even played Origami. I'm just only hearing the fact that the server problems of Origami 2 are ridiculous to the point where you can't even invite friends to a game that is most part
Milking
cooperative.
strays, nigga brothel. You know?
Wait, what?
All right, whose butthole is for sale in that place, huh?
Oh God, I didn't get to save my.
Oh,
Oh,
the
this is gonna
random.
suck. Oh, cool.
Oh, I crashed.
George's. Oh God. No, 𝖮𝖊,
That's
don't
not
crawl
good,
into
actually.
combat, 𝖮𝖊.
If he crashes,
I gotta
that
put
means
him out
I'm
of his
crashing
memory.
soon. I'm tempted to like tuck my head into a corner and not let any aesthetics just like fucking.
Oh fuck! I need to reload. It didn't I'm down. It didn't replenish me.
I straight killed myself like a retard. And that's amazing.
𝖮𝖊's just crashed and is literally crawling
I think
across
I
the
crashed.
battlefield.
I think I died. I crashed and died.
You guys tend to crash in pairs.
Yeah, it's mad annoying.
Now, this is the last try of the night, because I don't want to waste any more time.
This isn't just a problem for when it's just like me and 𝖮𝖊 playing together. This genuinely happened completely at random. What you're about to see, I was actually with this like, two-sided group where, we were interchanging in position, and I was actually having a great time with all of these guys that night. And coincidentally, when me and this one guy go to actually push OBJ, the game just decides, no, you don't need to play anymore, and it fucking kicks me.
Reloading.
One's out of the picture.
Good go.
I see three. Three are pushing our left. Where the hell are you going?
Dick, where you at? Apparently I don't have them.
Goddamn, you should have won that. Destroyer. Here. Destroyer.
Guy here with us.
We're
Thing goes
capturing
down.
A. Wait.
Wow. Wow, I crashed again. I was actually having a good game too. Fucking hell. That's retarded. Yep. Fix your shit. That's dumb.
Now, I don't want this video to be taken as just ranting and raving and hating on this game, because in fact, actually, I would say I love this game. I've loved this game since the original standalone on PC. It's still right next to my original spot of between Hotline Miami and Payday 2. I spent a lot of hours in the original standalone in high school on this game. So to be able to play it again is really fun, really amazing, and almost nostalgic in its own way. And hell, it gives me and my friends that I have playing with now uh, a lot of opportunity to have a lot of fun on video games, you know. But in the same breath, I don't want to learn to hate this fucking game because every time I'm having a great match, every time me and my friends are having a great time, for it all to be thwarted simply because, oh, well, mid game, fuck you. And yeah, you can rejoin. Yeah, it does keep your stats, but it's not the point. The point is, I want to be able to play a match from beginning to end without a physical problem, right? Because it's one thing when you're having a bad night. Everyone has a bad night on a video game, and I think, a lot of people nowadays are up their own ass when it comes to like stats and shit like that. But when it comes to just genuinely having fun in a game, we seem to neglect the fact that if the game is even functional or not. And a lot of people are gonna probably continue on to go on about CD Projekt Red and how Cyberpunk basically was a catastrophic failure. The only reason Cyberpunk was a catastrophic failure is because I was still in fucking high school when CD Projekt Red or the original Cyberpunk 2077 was released. Or not released, but the concept was there, the trailers were being made. You know, and then all of a sudden it gets delayed, gets delayed, it gets delayed to the point in which I actually genuinely forgot about it, and I was out of college and already working when that shit got released. Like I was well into working. I've been 3 years working when that shit got released. You know, and hell, a lot of people were complaining about it. I played it. I actually loved Cyberpunk. I thought it was a great story and a great game. So I think people ought to stop ripping developers a new one simply off of just errors and mistakes, and we really ought to just start pointing out when, hey, it's a low-key abusive relationship we're suffering at the hands of here, right? Because you got to realize it's not just developers in this equation, it's also the publishers. The publishers are the ones saying, listen, we'll pull your fucking money. We'll botch the whole project. I don't care how far along you are in it. There are many games throughout history that everyone was like, wow, that's gonna be a great game, but then it never got released. You guys want to talk about that original Prey? Not the one where it's the morphing monsters. No, there was a Prey that was supposed to come out way back in the day that you were gonna be a space bounty hunter for fuck's sake. Everyone thought that was gonna be a great idea, really cool, really fun, but the publisher said you're taking too long. Fuck you. So there is a leeway of, how much time I have, but I think publishers and developers alike both are just losing the grasp of, all right, how many bugs are okay? How many issues are okay before we start to, be the abusive relationship here?
I warned you, Susan.
Yep.
Alright, this is 𝕮𝖊𝖘𝖎 rolling on in with him, suppressed honey badger. ATF is rolling in as I spoke. They've already shot my dog. Over.
Roger that.
And I'm a little aware that my narration here, along with a little bit of my points, have been kind of all over the place this video. Mind you, this video was kind of put together a little bit hastily, just more or less to make my point. And the point out there being, listen, it's okay for a game company to have a little bit of mistakes going on. Some game dev teams are about the size of Rockstar's closet, for fuck's sake. But in the same breath, when the game bug, error, glitch is basically rendering the game to the point where it's unplayable, when it renders the game to a point where I actually lose interest in the game, when I actually lose faith in the development team and the publisher, it's starting to kind of more or less seem like, maybe the game industry nowadays has advanced past me. You know, uh, I don't know if other people feel like that. You know, maybe it could just be me on this lonesome island out here, but I really don't think so. You know, uh, People tend to rip apart games nowadays in a way that I think is, I don't know. We choose the stupid problems to make a big deal out of. Earlier in this video, you guys noticed that there was someone going on about how a lot of people hide in this game. Well, that's kind of the point. If you knew anything about the Fallujah insurgency, the Bulgarian insurgency, the Chechnyan insurgency, basically every goddamn doorway was a fucking shootout. Every lane, every grain of or not grain, every leaf of grass, every blade of grass was, a shootout. You know, it was the point. It's how guerrilla warfare and most modern warfare and insurgencies go, is hardcore hiding and shootouts. So that actually to me isn't a big deal. What is a big deal is the fact that I'm actually having a hard time enjoying the game as a whole simply because there is an error that causes the game to crash in the first place. Uh, and not once every so often, not even once a night. I had to filter out about 7 hours of footage for this video. Um, I wish I was joking about that. I'm actually going to upload a lot of the footage in bulk. Um, Later. So if you check out my channel, you'll notice I do that where it's like I just put a lot of the fun episodes me and my friends have. Even when we're losing, I'll post because to me, I like my channel being a little bit more realistic with some things. But you're gonna see that I actually had quite a bit of footage to cut out in and out of this video here. So also that's why my point may be seeming a little bit across the board here. But this ought to be a point that is across the board because it's getting tiring. Constantly kind of anticipating a good game, anticipating that, hey, maybe this game's the one. And it's not. You know, I always gotta buy the game and wait. You know, I gotta buy the game and pray. Well, I'm getting tired of that. I'm getting tired of constantly feeling like, they're being predatorial with my money here. You know, and game companies seriously need to understand um, it's okay to delay. It's not okay when you delay past, I would say, a year and a half to 2 years. Because once you do that, then yeah, it's starting to look like maybe your project as a whole is completely fucked. Duke Nukem Forever is another example of that type of shit. So take this as you will. You know, I would highly recommend Insurgency once they fix the crashing error. And that's about it. A lot of people are kind of raving also about the cosmetic problem. I personally never really cared about cosmetics as long as there's enough to look unique on the field. I really genuinely don't care. You know, I do feel somewhat, excuse me, I do somewhat feel sympathetic for the guys who paid $100 just to have those cosmetics be completely fucked and not even work. Um, because that's gotta be a kick in the ass, you know. You can't even really enjoy the game when you drop $100 on it and you're not getting the full $100 worth. Um, so yeah, if someone can maybe make sure this gets sent to the game developer of Insurgency, and or the porting company to kind of maybe boost a little bit both morale, but also give a little insight in how the player is feeling, you know. Because this is a 2 and 3 problem, right? On average, and actually, I went around a few matches just kind of asking around, like, hey, who's suffering crashes? Hey, who's, having audio glitches? Who's having physical glitches upon reload? And what those are is, so in the game when I'm firing, mysteriously my, sound for my gun will just completely cut. And at times, this actually has affect footsteps. I don't know if there's a correlation going on there or not, but I know if I swap out my gun real quick, it goes away. And when I reload my firearm in this game, occasionally my guy will do the Somalian pirate reload where he puts his gun over his head to reload, and it's just kind of entertaining to see. Uh, Stuff like that. Those aren't serious glitches. Those aren't serious matters. I personally can go forever with those glitches and not actually care. What I really care about really is just being able to play the goddamn game without a crash, without having to constantly restart the game and wait through the loading screen over and over and over again. You know, but for the most part, this is a great game. And I know this entire rant here might seem a little bipolar, and that's because this game gives you bipolar feelings. How can I neglect the fact that this is an actually extremely entertaining game? I can't. This is a fun as fuck game. If you like modern realistic shooters, if you played Rising Storm, if you played Red Orchestra. If you played the original standalone Insurgency or even the fucking mod, if you played Counter Strike and wished it was just a touch more realistic, man, this game's not only for you, but I highly recommend you buy it. You know, just by God, fix the fucking crash. Just fix the crash. Um, I hope you all enjoyed my video. Please check out Luminous Guardian, also Luminous Artworks. She's kind of responsible for a lot of the artwork done on my channel, including my avatar. If you like that sort of thing interests you, I highly recommend contacting her, checking her out. Um, Also, please feel free to check out 𝕮𝖗𝖊𝖆𝖙𝖔𝑗. Both of their descriptions and works will actually be found in the description below. I highly recommend clicking on those links, checking them out, subscribing to them. They come out with quite a bit of good work. Lumi usually works on live stream, as for Jacob usually works on YouTube. Um, but both of which come out with unique individual work, and 9 times out of 10 it's all from scratch. um, so I definitely recommend checking them out and giving them a subscribe. Same breath, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's nice to see if people are actually interacting with these videos or not. Also, feel free to check out the other videos I got on this channel. For the most part, it's just me and my friends just having fun. But we tend to actually give quite a bit of solid laughs to some folks, and yeah, things are starting to go well on this channel. I'd like to make more videos like this, and thank you all for watching.